Right, so welcome back. Sorry about that slight interruption. So I was explaining about the last two tarot we're going to look at tonight in the Philosophy Club. Ing, otherwise known as Frey, who is the god of love, effectively, and he like takes us back to that golden age that Saturn at its best stands for. And then we have the other, and let me just say that he's also the god of the English. I mean, my ancestors on both parents' side are English, right? Now, England means Ing's land. The reason the English was so sort of spreading out and going and settling all different parts of the earth is the secret of the English is actually love. We seem to have forgotten that with the Tory party, who it's very interesting, very few of the cabinet people that have been doing Brexit are actually English. They haven't got a clue what it means to be English. They are very aggressive, violent, ruthless kind of people that seem to have come from some other planet. And they're only interested in money and power. Ing is not interested in that. He's interested in true wealth, which is beauty, which is love. And that's really the English at their best. That's what we stood for. And I hope we can get back to it. I was listening to the Liberal Democrat Party conference for 4 days. And the people there are what I call proper English people who do have a sense of values. One of the policies we've adopted is to end the lack of ethics in the political process, like lying and all the kind of deceit that's been practiced by the Conservative government. So the English have a deep sense of love and justice and fair play. And I'm glad to see that it looks like the Tories are going to be absolutely wiped out at the next general election as the true voice of England comes back, which is the true voice of love, justice and fairness. So this is also about, the need for the people of Ing to stand up and be faithful and loyal. Right, and then Ing is paired with the Knight of Earth, so he's the Knight of Water. The Knight of Earth is Ilmarinen, who is a Finnish god. And he's the Knight of Earth because he's incredibly capable and crafty with his hands. He can make anything. He's like an engineering genius. He can make stuff out of scraps of iron. And there's a picture of him working away with a keyboard, downloading whatever from his mobile phones. And he makes, in the Kalevala, he's the eternal hammerer. He's always inventing stuff. He's like Daedalus was in the Greek tradition. And it's interesting, the mobile phone company, Nokia, is from his land. In a sense, Ilmarinen is the deity behind Nokia. And also, he makes the Sampo, which is this magical tool that is at the heart of the Kalevala, the great Finnish epic. And it can do everything. It's a sort of internet it's like an internet of things before there was an internet. And interestingly enough, the Finnish have got an advanced centre for digital computing, and they've created what they call the cultural Sampo, which is like an online digital archive of everything to do with culture in the entire Finnish world. They've got a book Sampo, which is every single fiction piece of literature created in Finnish ever. It's stored on this internet. They have a biography Sampo, which is every Finnish person that's ever lived is clocked on this thing. And they have a law Sampo for all laws published in Finland. So, the Finns are clever people. And they're using, or they know Ilmarinen is a very, very crafty god who is supporting them and backing them and loves them and is a magician using AI for creativity, for peace, for beauty. And so really, that's what this card represents to me. It's the need to use AI for magic, and that's why the rainbow is in the back. The rainbow, Noah's symbol of peace, is what Ilmarinen actually wants. He's a good god who wants to see his people live in harmony and peace, doesn't want to see them attacked by Putin's crazy Russia that's lost its way and given over to dark forces. And what we've got to do, and obviously Finland is a member of the European Union, as is France, and we as a continent, all of Europeans, need to come together and use our intelligence, which is Ilmarinen's genius, if you want, for good and for love. We have to create a world in which Ing is welcome back. This represents to me the United Kingdom and England coming back into the European Union and maybe working out some softer kind of constitutional arrangement for the UK, which is what the Lib Dems want, and I support, so that every culture has its autonomy and independence within a federal structure as part of the European Union. And that's, to me, the European Union has the potential to get us back to the golden age of Saturn. If we can stop these wars, that, I believe, is the project that, as a peace thinker, I've been working on for the last 30 years. And now I'm trying to draw on the divine intelligence to make that happen, because it's too much. We can't do that in one lifetime. I can't do that alone. We need the gods to help, not least Amun, who is the god of justice. So, to all my friends in Finland, England, Russia, Ukraine, and Israel and Palestine, and all regions in between, Egypt and Africa, I send my love and greetings from France here. I hope that, France is a haven of free thought, and it's a great republic in which people of wisdom, enlightened sages have come. And I hope that France can use its diplomatic skills to make that kind of world possible, a world where peace and genius and intelligence replaces fear and violence. I understand why the Palestinians are so frustrated that they've decided to go to war, but it's not the right path. The path, as Gandhi pointed out, of non-violence is much more successful in the long run. And so I hope France is doing all it can to bring a ceasefire about and get them. And it's not just diplomats that can do this. They don't have the intelligence. It's the spiritual diplomats. It's the intellectuals of the Palestinians and Israelis. It's the intellectuals of European countries, of Ukraine and Russia. Those are who I want to work with as chairman of the World Intellectual Wisdom Forum. Let's work together to heal these conflicts at the highest level, and then the diplomats will fall into place. Okay, so blessings, and let's pray that by next week the conflicts have died down somewhat. And thank you for listening.